But from being contenders, we're now dropped back. We've dropped back again.
So all right. So what's the strategy? I'm going to give you the Graham Wright hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the first thing? I'm not going to say if you make a change because you will.
Yes.
What's the first thing you're doing? First thing on the
Who
whiteboard.
asking?
What are you crossing off?
Who are you asking?
Head of football.
Plushka, head of football.
football,
Okay,
yeah.
Mars.
Yeah.
Do I one person only?
No, you mate, go for it. Okay, for the purpose of the question, what's the first change?
That carpet
you would make?
snake Brad Lloyd.
Yep.
The cancer goes.
Yep.
He dies. Voss and his fucking cronies with him.
All 4 of them.
Gone.
All 5 coaches.
Gone.
So 6 people gone.
Gone. They won't do it.
Yep.
You'd probably get rid of him and 2.
Yep.
So I'll give
What
one
about-
and TDK and either Harry or not Walsh or Kerno gone.
What about you?
See you
You're
later.
Graham Wright. There's a whiteboard here. You've got a list.
How many do I have to give you?
Mate, just tell me what's the first thing you're
First couple.
first thing you want to take. What's first point of business at 9 a.m. you want to take care of? We're in a toolbox
Coaching the
meeting.
coaching department, all of that.
Okay.
I think we need the right person there.
To properly motivate them.
No, but
And
Brad
every-
Lloyd's
and
got to
every-
be gone because
And
he's
Brad
been
Lloyd,
part
bro,
of 2
I think-
regimes.
I think Brad Lloyd.
The cancer's
everyone's
gone.
talking about Brad Lloyd. I think Brad
He's
Lloyd.
got to be gone, mate. He's a cancer. That's what he is. And I tell him to his face too that he's a cancer of a club. And I wouldn't back down from it. Trust me, I wouldn't. He's a fucking cancer. It's a carpet snake he's just sitting under
I don't
there.
know how the fuck.
He's badging at your fucking ankles and he's just fucking
But why aren't you
survived. He's
concerned?
killed everyone with his poison.
Why aren't you concerned? All you're doing is because this is every year. We'll just tweak a little bit and tweak. We should be there, mate. We should be right up there. Look, we're not.
What we should-
We're nowhere near.
And I'm not
it.
saying
Our
you're-
players don't look up to it. Like even if the play, for example, just say they're not motivated, right? Let's say they got bad attitudes, right? We've got the quality, but they just got bad attitudes. Why? Why have these players got bad attitudes? Why? Why after 4 years we've got the best group? That was the Super Draft 2015. Admittedly, Wiedering as I think and Cripper, you know what I mean?
The chat seems to be saying Brad Lloyd.
Yeah, Brad Lloyd is definitely. I think everyone say that. But is he going to be like the answer to everything, Brad
Fucking
Lloyd?
bastard.
I don't know, man. To me, like it's
Fucking
really
pays
pissed me
wages.
off
Get
this
rid
year.
of TDK. What is it? You should.
Pay his wages to that fucking
Okay,
prick.
let's say you want to move on some players. Do you want to speak about it? Play.
Yeah, well, Harry Mackay will probably, like Sydney are interested. There'd be 4, 5, 6 clubs that are pursuing
definitely.
him.
And you'll
mate.
get
Honestly,
good value
half the
for him.
fucking league would
So
want
there's
him.
no,
You
like,
get
I
good
don't...
value for him too.
His contract is attractive.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah, yeah,
what,
yeah.
the
We're
remainder
discussing
in the
this
car.
somewhere,
The
yeah.
remainder of
There's
Harry's
no-
contract.
And we
is
would
attractive.
pay some of it, wouldn't we?
No.
No,
you reckon
give, us,
trade.
give us a first and a future second.
there's
or a
no-
second
You won't get
round.
more than fucking.
We'll get a first round.
You
pick
get a
this year,
first
Harry.
rounder
Yeah.
and probably
Well, I don't really... I think I'm not that I'm not concerned. It's just because you say, you know, say and look, people have rolled their eyes. Oh, you know, the strategic plan, and you know, like you say, you set in place a goal with a vision, and then you have to set a time frame for that, right?
Yep.
So the time frame for us is 2027.
Now,
Right.
yeah, all right.
So in between that,
There's a squeeze coming up.
yeah, well, to a
There's a
point, right?
squeeze.
Say, right, 20, whatever that is, right? But just because you make changes within that time period, it doesn't mean that you can't achieve that.
No, I agree.
And that's what, to me, it's just, all right, we're 6 and 7, we're not where we want to be, so what do you do about it?
I understand that's the outcome. Like at the end,
So from what, and again, like I'm saying, again, how much like you can divulge all you want
The
publicly.
business model doesn't change.
No, it doesn't change. It's just the people within it change
yeah, but
in order
we
to
never
deliver
get
a
that
different
right.
standard.
We haven't got that right in years, mate.
We have got it.
What gives you
I'll say
the
that we've got it
confidence to
better
say
in
that this
recent
time
years.
we will get it right?
None.
What gives you that confidence? Like I see what's happened in the past, and I don't get that confidence. To me, it's just because we had this same discussion, or practically when we had Sayers and Voss and Cook, and they all came in with the same discussion. We've got these players, and now we're going to do this, and it's what happens. Same result. We're back to where we started.
Yeah,
right?
we're languishing this season.
So what
halfway
gives
through,
you that
right?
confidence that this time we'll get it right?
Well, the person coming in making the executive decisions.
But you know,
It's got it right
again with
previously.
this Graham Wright, right? Again with this Graham Wright, it's the right person. He's never been CEO, first of all.
I
So
think that's great.
yeah, and it
think
might
it's
be good.
Graham Wright.
Yeah.
Right,
I think
and it
that's great.
might be good because he's, like
Ambitious.
enthusiastic.
I don't think we've had many
I
of
like
those
that,
yet.
but at the end of the day, it still gives me no confidence in the organisation that we'll get it right. Because what have I seen in the past?
Do you want me to know what does give me confidence? The fact that
asking.
the fact that some people at the club are shook.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mate, there's people at the club that are
They're trembling in their boots.
They are, and
they
that
were-
is why.
But they were trembling 4 years ago, bro.
Were
You've
they?
just forgotten about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but when that happened, we improved.
different move.
Have
to a
we?
point.
So you can improve. So just because you improve a bit for like half a year or a year, and now we're back to where we were, that's not an
So
improvement.
do you?
Can I ask you, since 4 years ago, which player have we given a ridiculous? Which player have we traded in since 4 years ago?
Traded in? Yes.
Yep, I'm going to say
Traded
there's
in.
one on a ridiculous contract. There's one. It's Adam Chera. It's
Chera.
not even ridiculous. Akers was cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Hewitt was cheap.
Yeah.
Nick Newman was cheap.
Yeah. We've had some great bargain.
This is
buys.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Prior to 4 years ago, I'm going to give you names. You already know them.
Williams, McGovern, Martin.
McGovern,
Disaster.
Martin. It was a
Disaster.
complete
Disaster.
shit show.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's changed. That's what's different. I like the fact that there's
Yeah, but
people
it's-
at the club that are a bit unsettled.
Well, we're not
and
curtailed by that
as
anymore.
a reverse cycle, I'm looking at that from the outset, and I'm looking at that, and I'm going, that is the biggest indication of change about to come and moving forward for the positive direction. If people are concerned,
Yeah, but
as stakeholders of the club, if people at your company are concerned, if you're an investor like we all are, you should be not satisfied, but you should be content. You should understand that shit's going to get done. You're never going to know if it's right or wrong. You can only measure. You can only measure it after the
you
fact.
have all the evidence laid out in front of you, right? Based on, and the person making that decision will say, "Okay, well, I know from previous experiences that when." I know from previous experiences that when this particular thing happens or this particular scenario arises, I know that this particular decision has worked to a point, but now I'm dealing with different people, so I have to maybe veer down a different path, right? But on my end, the way I look at it is, it's not down the view of if a certain player leaves, if we trade a certain player out, if the head of football changes, if the coaches change, that it automatically means that you're just going to go backwards again. That's what I think. There's a fear with a lot of people that they think that if the coach changes, if coaches change, if the head of football changes, if players are traded out, senior players are traded out, that it means that it's just automatically going to regress. I don't believe that. And I think there's a fear with a lot of people that they think if that change does occur and we maybe trade out and lose one or two senior players to get in picks or to get in other players, that we will regress. I don't think that's true.
We don't know.
It could be. It could be. But I don't think that will happen, because I do think there is a base there to a point where we haven't, like, as much
the
as
base in the playing group.
Yeah. Well, Graham Wright, he's would I say he's a fan of this list? He likes it.
fuck, he can like any list.
You know. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, is that
You can't change all your players.
a person of his.
Do you like it?
But a person of his, yeah, I do, to a point. Yeah, I think that we can definitely make tweaks, and we can definitely play a different style to get a bit more out of the players. But I don't see it as a negative, like dark cloud, like it's all over, terrible. Like, it's not. I don't think, and like in business, you can't take that. Like in a football club, you can't take that mindset. You can't have that. So if we're trying to discuss what they're doing, and you're trying to understand what they are doing and why they are making decisions and why it is leading to this, you have to get into that mindset and get into the room and say, okay, well, why are they making certain decisions based off? So, like I was saying on last night's show, is that, okay, well, they've made this particular decision. I'm thinking, why have they made that call? Why does Michael Voss continue to play his style? Right? Because he'll live by the sword and die by the sword. You saw it after round 2. He's going to back that system in.
Oh, he can't change
Right?
it now.
Well, okay, so you know what? Bravo, well
Simon
done.
Goodwin did.
You'll live by it and die. Okay, fair enough, right? Fair enough. If you want to do that, and we want to play this Dower style, it'll get us to a point, which it has got us to a point. It's got us to 9th, 5th, 8th, edge of the 8. That's where we are, right? I don't think losing 2 or 3 senior players of the ilk we've seen over the last couple of seasons for younger players with regards to picks, bringing in another couple of players from different clubs is going to see us drop off to be a bottom 2 or bottom. I don't see that.
I don't think.
No,
I'm not saying we're not going to go to a bottom 2, right? I don't think that's going to happen.
I think, and this is why I'm I don't want to say
glass half
but
full.
I'm not concerned. Like I look at 6 and 7. I look at the way we're playing, and then I see what they're probably going to input. Like there's going to be change at the end of the year. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I know, but there's change.
It's inevitable.
In
There's
every
going to be
club
change
at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I like that.
I do
the concern with a lot of people is that every time we've changed, it has not got better. But again, so where we were before as a club. What was our best moment to a point? It was an elimination final win. Oh, whoop-de-doo. What does that mean? And then you move forward, you build and build and build. And what's been our best moment since? The semi-final win. All right, now it's regressed since then. So what do? You go and go and go again. And then you put in people in in places and you go again.
Yeah, but
to a point.
I agree, and I agree what you're saying, and I don't think we're going to drop down to bottom.
Well, I don't know, we might.
I don't think we will, but...
I don't think we will.
Let's just say you miss the 8 this year, right?
Yep.
Let's not sell the whole joy.
No, but just say you miss the 8 this year, right?
Yep.
And go ballistic and go crazy. And
I know, but that's the problem. It's and every year for us.
yeah, no, but what are you going to do?
No, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
Like,
but you change people in roles, whether that's
But
either
you've
football
given
or
me
players
no,
and
like the
coaches.
club, and in recent years has given me no confidence that this is going to happen for the good this time. You're giving me no confidence. It's like being in a relationship. Look, you're giving me no confidence that you're going to be faithful to me. You're giving me no confidence. Look, at the end of the day, the club doesn't give me any confidence that they're going to make the right decisions again. Like this time, what am I saying again?
So even if it's new people in those
It
roles,
might, and I hope it works, but at the moment, if you ask me, I haven't got that why have you got so much confidence that everything's going to be great now? What gives you that confidence? What have you seen in the past as an organisation? And I'm talking the last, 10 or 15 years or whatever. What is giving you confidence that this time's different? What is giving you confidence?
Well, I mean, you go on, you make finals 2 years in a row, and we just sort of
So what? North made finals a couple of years, and they're back at the bottom. St Kilda made finals. So what?
Yeah, but I think other clubs don't.
All right, but
really
so
concern
what? We
themselves.
made finals. We made finals. We went on a run in 23.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we've done. We went on a fucking 12-game run. That's all we did, really, right? Because then last year we started
Limped
well,
into the 8, yeah.
and then we just fell into the 8 there, and we won one game.
So we've become. I mean, how you can go back, but this group to a point has become a finals team.
So
has it?
So
Right.
can I ask you a
Well,
question?
they played finals. The
5
last 2
goals
years.
up in a prelim final, and Voss couldn't coach when that happened.
What's that?
When we were 5 goals up in the prelim final, Voss couldn't coach.
Well,
Yeah.
he could be.
He could have motivated for another 3 quarters.
He probably got him the best they could, but at the
I
end of the day,
agree.
Could he
when
not
you look
motivate
at
him for
it,
another
right,
3
when
quarters?
when you look at the overall thing, I'm looking at it and going, right, we're 5 goals up in the prelim,
Fully fit too.
fully fit,
Sure.
right? And
Was there
then-
anyone major missing in that game?
Well-
I don't remember.
No.
A
No,
few loose
There were
changes.
no
excuses.
Matt Owies and Kennedy are not
No.
there.
Yeah.
Anyone else major?
No, there were no
Mark
excuses.
Spain?
There were no excuses in
So
that
whose
prelim.
fault was it that particular game?
I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about
No,
that
I want to know
particular
whose
game.
fault was it in that particular game.
I think our condition just gave in.
All right, so we gave in.
I think our fitness and Brisbane were cherry ripe there. I think our fitness.
All right, so
just-
then last
just
year
gave
we
in.
started really well, and then we
Great,
fell away,
fully
and then
fit with all the injury. I'm not doing the injury
No.
excuse, but you got to state the facts.
and then we had some injuries, and I've stated
Some.
that last year. We had some injuries last year.
Mate, Rocco, they were this close to calling you to fucking play for
Yeah,
them.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we make
Come
it,
on.
and we're 60-0.
Yeah.
The way that we entered that elimination final was
Disgusting.
horrid. The decision making
Yeah.
was horrid.
They got everything wrong.
Let's not shy away
They got
from
everything
that.
wrong.
Who's that? That's probably the coaching panel and the match committee.
And that hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed.
We
no.
understand that particular game was wrong. Here we are now in 2025. We're
Yeah.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
So this is the
For
thing,
me,
right?
the group
this
is broken.
Yes.
this is the thing,
Whose fault's
right?
that?
What do you mean? Whose fault is that?
Because you as a motivator, you as the fucking leaders, mate. Why are your players broken? They're not injured, right? They're going into a season.
Do you know why?
Why?
It's called trauma, bro. Because when you experience pain, you don't want to fucking go back, bro.
Well, but
The players are weak. Like,
So
I don't know
that's
how to tell it to you, mate. The fucking player
players are broke from when?
The players
From when? When were they broken for?
Probably 2024, halfway through that point of the year, that GWS game, they couldn't even
So
win.
how
You know what? I'll tell you
Let's
when.
get them going, mate. Let's get them going, mate.
I'll tell you when it was. This is when I knew that Cripps' 200th game against the Bulldogs last year, when they couldn't win for him. That's when I knew.
Yeah.
That Saturday Arvo game where he was
that's a year down the-
Batman, he was Superman, whoever the fuck this
We're a
bloke
year
was.
down the track, bro, and you
I
still
think
can't
the
get
players.
this team motivated.
I think the club is divided and broken, and a lot of it is the players. And the biggest indication, no one's even spoken about him, is Bubba Hollins
Said it a million times. Toxic
and Harry
environment.
Mackay.
Yeah, well, that kind of
I'm not
worries
saying
me
that was
too.
the moment, but when those two incidences
Toxic
occurred,
environment.
I knew
It shows
straight
there's
away.
something wrong there, yeah.
But then you look at the Bulldogs and go, they got Jamara. Have a look how they're going. The Bulldogs are not going. They're not going the worst.
Yeah.
The difference is probably the culture at their club
Yeah.
and their coach. So
Yeah.
to back you up, you could measure us against the Bulldogs and go, well, they've got a bloke who's been cooked. Who's
Yeah,
pulling
yeah.
guns on his. I shouldn't say that on his
Yeah,
teammate.
yeah.
Anyway, he's
Yeah.
doing some.
No, well-
He's doing
well,
some
that's
dodgy
the
shit
fact.
with his teammates. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting siphoned from his
How are
mates
they
too.
able to
Yeah.
gather themselves?
Yes.
Their list is a lot better than ours, for starters.
Yep.
They also have a tactical coach that is better than ours from my house to your house.
Very unique in his...
Different
Who's the
strategy.
tactical coach?
Luke Beveridge.
Beveridge.
Sorry,
Oh,
he's
the
not
actual
the actual.
coach.
The actual
you're a
coach.
smart
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. No, but in all seriousness,
Beveridge.
I personally think the group led by our skipper is just drained. Like, and I'm not knocking our skipper, but he, I don't know.
Maybe
you can
his
see it- you
trauma
can see
rubs
it-
off on
you
the
can see it in his face,
players.
Oh, I
His
forget
trauma rubs off on the players because when he turns into Superman, what are they
Well,
thinking?
you also have a look
It's
at.
hard on
What are
the
they? No,
blokes
but what are
carrying
they
that
thinking
team,
as a?
mate.
What are they thinking as a player in that moment when he's trying to take on 5 players in a contest?
Well,
Why? Like, why is he trying to take on 5 when you
because he
got?
hasn't got trust in the rest of the side.
Yeah.
mate.
Hey,
That's
if you're,
what I
if you're going to
believe.
go down the path of whose job is it to motivate the players, let me tell you something, bro. You're a fucking AFL footballer.
Themselves.
Don't fucking tell me you need someone to motivate you.
No, but you do.
No, but you don't.
No, but you do.
Intrinsically, you
I
should be.
don't. I don't.
No,
I
but
don't
that's not
think
true.
you need.
Then why are there personal?
I don't think you need
Why
to
are there
be
personal
motivated.
trainers in this world? Because why do all the great stars have personal trainers and that? Because you're wrong. You might be the most motivated person in the world.
But you should have motivation.
You should.
Within.
You should. You should.
So if you don't give me a fucking pep talk, I'm going to go out and flop.
I'm
and do
not saying
nothing.
about a pep talk. It's not about.
No, but that's what you're telling
it's
me.
not about. No, I'm not telling. It's one pep.
A lot of
talk.
players
I
do,
didn't
though.
say it was one pep
on,
talk.
like-
You don't
What
think?
I'm saying is, as a group and that.
You
right,
don't
Comes to the
there
point
are
where
times-
you give me the message and we've delivered. We've listened to you, coach. Like, boss, I did everything I could. I tried, but I've come to realization that, you know what, it's just not happening. It's not you, coach. It's just I'm going through the motions.
Yep.
That's what I think our club is at.
Yep.
It's a bit stale everywhere. It's
Yeah.
not. So it's a bit of the coach, and I think it's also a bit of the players.
Yeah, it's a bit of
I'm
everyone.
I'm lean. If I had a lean, I'd be 60% players, 40% coach.
Yeah, but why they like that, bro? Man, you just said they're AFL players,
Yeah.
right? And they're all down. Well, you know what I
Easy.
mean. They're all down. What? What's easy about this? I don't get it.
No. Sorry. The easy part to answer is the leadership.
Right.
So I think it starts.
But the
I've
leadership starts from the fucking top, mate, and it goes down the ranks. The rank.
I
if
think
I'm
you'll
the
be
leader
surprised, yeah.
and you're the next level,
Yeah.
and I'm a fucking banana, trust me, you're taking advantage of it.
I believe the players have a lot more pull than what you think.
And you know what?